Hi everyone, we're here at CHA in the ClearSnap booth, and I am here to share with you a wonderful project using the fluid chalk line of ink from ClearSnap. It is a beautiful line of ink that is a blend of ink. It is a blend of pigment and dye, and we're going to embrace both of the sides of that ink to create this project that I have in front of you here. We're going to do the scrapbook page layout, but of course everything that can be done as a scrapbook page, if you change your eyes and look at it with your card eyes, it can be transferred to a card. What we're going to do is we're going to start with just plain white paper, and we're going to grab a great stamp and a nice butterfly stamp, and I'm just going to use a plain old piece of paper to do a little bit of masking. When you are creating this background page, generally when I'm doing a scrapbook page, what I'm using is the photo to pick my colors. It makes it easy for me to make a custom background for a beautiful photo when I'm choosing the colors directly from the photo. For this one, because this little boy here is a boy, we're going to start with the ice blue. We're going to take that ice blue ink, we're going to ink our stamp, okay? And using the mask, I'm going to mask out one side of the paper, and I am simply going to start creating an interesting border on the side, on the interior of this page. So inking each and every time, giving it good pressure so that the image is taken right up to the line of the border. We can start creating our custom background. It's simple, it's beautiful. You'll find that fluid chalk, because of the blend, no matter what size of stamp you use, it is going to give you a beautiful, smooth, and even image. There we go. We've got half of it done, and I'm just doing it a little bit different so that we have a unique pattern. And now we're going to do the other side. Repeat, taking the stamp and work it the other way. Just have some fun, creating some interest. Okay, twist that stamp, work from top to bottom. Stamping the ink. And you get to know that because of the dye-based qualities of fluid chalk, this ink is drying very quickly. Its actual intent is not for it to be able to emboss with, to do a raised design, because of the dye quality. The dye quality of this ink is going to make it dry really quickly. Once you have it all stamped, you're going to use my favorite, the paintbrush for the stamp pad, which is their stylus system and a foam tip. And you're going to load it directly from the stamp pad. And now you're going to take that, and in small circles, small concentric circles, loading the foam tip as you require, we're going to apply some more ink over top of this last set of images that we have applied to the paper. It's going to give us a unique border. This application, using this type of an applicator to apply your ink, is just like having a paintbrush. They are a fabulous way to add ink. You never ever throw your foam tips out. This foam tip, particular foam tip, will be used to do a light blue dye-based or blended ink for the rest of its life. I have a container that I save my foam tips in, and my foam tips are many years old. They go from project to project. Once you've done that along one side, okay, you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So now you have a nice background. It's beginning to build a nice background for your photo. Going to take that page, and you're going to take another stamp pad. You're going to choose obviously I'm going to choose the creamy brown for the creamy brownness that I'm seeing in the hair and in the skin shades. And I am going to begin taking that open image, which will complement our photo as well, and we begin to stamp that up over both sides of the border. Now the beauty of this is you have no fear of smearing the ink because it is drying so quickly. So when you're done, you have an absolutely gorgeous page that is set up for your photo. So because I'm going to now begin stamping with one of the lighter shades on in the palette, I am going to choose the alabaster ink. Now, this ink is a blend of ink. It is meant to dry quickly, but because if we change paper, if we go to a really good parchment paper, and I've got a strip of it ready to go here, you can take that ink, and because the parchment is a sealed surface, my fluid chalk that is not meant to be embossed will now be able to emboss on this vellum. So to get a nice white image on my vellum, I can take that, I can stamp my image, I can grab my embossing powder, and because the vellum itself is sealed, you can emboss with your fluid chalk with your embossing powders. So using the fluid chalk, when you change the paper, try the paper. The paper will determine whether you can emboss with fluid chalk or not. And as you see, we're going to get a nice embossed image. So on your matte paper, the fluid chalk will not emboss. On your vellum or parchment paper, it will emboss beautifully. Then we can take a stencil. We can make a stencil. We can simply stamp our butterfly on. You can even use something as inexpensive and easy to find as a Post-it note. And you're going to cut the image out. And I'm going to work on the back of this parchment paper. And it's a translucent paper, and using the same stylus system, the paintbrush for my stamp pads, we can apply ink on the back of the paper because the parchment, of course, is translucent. And we can apply color using the mask to the back of the butterfly, and then we can. It will air dry, but if you are in a hurry, you can simply heat set that, giving that ink short blasts. So to complete that project, you are going to stamp and color 3 butterflies, and you're also going to apply it to an alphabet strip. And you will have a gorgeous scrapbook page, and if you decide to make a card and do it without a photo, you have a card. Fluid chalk, your multi-surface ink that can be used on flat matte paper and on vellum. It can be embossed on the vellum or simply air dried or heat dried. Enjoy your fluid chalk. It can do many things for you.